Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real United States and welcome to Q&A USA, where we try to answer your questions about real life in the United States. This week, we've got a few questions. Our first question comes to us from New Beginnings from Booty and Cindy, and they want to know, is Beverly not that comfortable in front of the camera? And I've been asked this several times over the years. I'm sure this is a question that will continue to come up. Why isn't there more of Bev in front of the camera? And aside from the fact that Bev is our cinematographer, camera operator, director of photography, the fact of the matter is that Bev, no, is not all that really comfortable in front of the camera. She doesn't mind occasionally getting in front of the camera, especially if we're working on a topic that's something she's especially excited about and happy about. But in general, Beverly is not as comfortable in front of the camera as I am. So, we have taken on the roles that we each are most comfortable with. She is an outstanding camera operator. I call her the human tripod because she can stand for an hour straight and it looks like the camera is sitting on a tripod, but in fact it's in her hand. Something that I just could not do. So anyway, that's the reason you don't see more of Beverly in front of the camera. It's not because I'm pushing her out and don't want to let her in front of the camera. If that's what you're wondering, I'm more than happy to have my wife join me in front of the camera. But it's not something she's incredibly comfortable with, and it's not the role that she wants to fulfill on this channel. So, we are both comfortable with the roles we've chosen, and it seems to be working for us reasonably well. I hope that sufficiently answers your question. And if you keep watching, somebody else will probably ask that same question in a few months, and we'll have to answer it again. But that's the long and the short of it. Okay, next question from our buddy down in Biloxi, Mississippi. Jeff Howard at Rant with Jeff. Hey, Jeff. Jeff's wondering if I would consider doing any political videos. I do run another channel, YourGov Nonpart, which I have not posted on in 3 years, which is about political science. It's non-partisan political science. It's about how government works and not about how politics work or about politics themselves. This channel is about real life in the United States, and the fact of the matter is, I am of the opinion that the vast majority of people here in the United States could not give a damn about politics. The reason it appears that most Americans are really into politics is because that handful that is are very, very vocal. My side's right, the other guys are wrong. There's not, and it's a relatively small percentage, I believe, of people in the United States that really are adamant about their politics. People in general want to push their own agenda without any consideration for the ramifications of any other agenda. I don't think I really have much to contribute in the arena of politics. It's not something that interests me a great deal. Political science, the workings of government, that's a kind of a nerdy thing, but it's something that does interest me. It seems to be more substantive than politics. So the likelihood of you tuning in one day and there being a political slanted video is relatively low. I don't think that it would make life on the planet any better. I don't think it would add anything to the public debate, if you want to call it that. So, no, Jeff, I'm sorry. I don't think that it's likely. Nothing's impossible, I guess, but it's not likely that we're going to be doing any political pieces in the near future. Now, that said, there has been some interest in us starting to produce episodes on the political science channel again. It's something I hadn't paid attention to in the last several years. And it's gaining subscribers, it's gaining more and more views. So we're thinking we may go ahead and put up some new episodes for YourGov Nonpart. I'll leave a link in the description down to that channel if you want to check it out. It's really bad. This was even before we started this channel. It was over 3 years ago. The lighting's bad, the delivery's bad, the sound is bad. It's just bad, but we're gonna try and make some new episodes with all the things we've learned in the last 3 years in production quality, and maybe we can make some stuff that's good. So keep an eye on that and let me know what you think. Okay, next question comes from our buddy Ettore Eusebio 1958 over there in Germany. And Ettore would like to know if I would ever consider shaving my beard and perhaps of filming it. No, because I like being married. My wife prefers that I wear a beard even more than I do. And I've had a beard largely since I was in high school, although when I was in high school it was kind of thin and scraggly. But yeah, pretty much since I was a junior in high school, I've worn some sort of facial hair. And when Bev and I met, I had facial hair. This is something that she's always liked. I don't, this is one of those, be careful what you ask for because you might get it, and if I were to shave the beard, I bear an uncanny resemblance to Howdy Doody without the beard, so it's not pretty. It's really not pretty. But I don't know, maybe we could do something like shave my back or something. No, I'm kidding. I don't think that, I don't think that it would be worth alienating myself from family and friends and my spouse and everything else just for our viewers' enjoyment. But thanks for asking. Okay. So our next question comes from our friend AW2. How you doing, dude? Good to hear from you. And AW2 wants to know if we study up on places before we go to film them, or if we just come across them in our travels. Well, the answer to that question is it's about 50-50. Sometimes when we're trying to find a new story, a new inspiration, we'll study maps, we'll study travel brochures. When we're traveling, we do stop at state welcome centers and pick up massive amounts of literature, which we hang on to, and we go back and we review and try to find other venues and events and those sorts of things. And yes, we'll study up about them. And we'll make a bullet list. I don't write a script. That's one of the premise of this channel, is that it's not scripted. And what I'll do is I'll make a little bullet list of about 5 or 6 items that seem of particular interest, especially on historical pieces. And then when we'll go and we'll visit the place, and I'll have something in my head about it because it's new to me. Other times, such as our recent episode on the Osage Orange, or monkey brains, that we did here just week or two ago, is something we just stumble on when we're out in the field already doing other things. And it's like, hey, this is something that, we thought was kind of interesting, whatever number of years ago when we discovered it. Maybe people don't know about this. Maybe they'll be interested in it. And it's certainly something that's, part of the real United States. And those are the ones where it's just, hey, Bev, turn the camera at me and I'm going to talk. And she's like, talk about what? I don't know, but just point the camera at me and I'll talk. So when we did Osage Orange, for example, it's like, yeah, hey, that's an Osage Orange. And this is what I know about them, historically, what they were used for and those sorts of things. And yes, I really do carry all this crap around in my head. That's why I don't have a lot of friends. Because I am a walking Wikipedia. So it's 50-50. Sometimes, yes, hey, well, let's go to this area and film these things. But as often as not, it's like, well, we're going to go film this thing. And then when we get there, it's, hey, look at that, squirrel. And, so we're off on a bender to do a whole nother episode about something that we haven't prepared for, that I haven't, got any bullet points on, that I'm just pulling stuff out of memory. And it's about 50% of the time. Our most popular episode, which was on Orange Grove in Florida, in fact, was spontaneous. We were coming back from St. Augustine, Florida. We were headed back south to where we were living at the time, and it was like, hey, there's an orange grove. Let's stop and do an episode about an orange grove. And we thought, okay, we'll get a couple of views on it. And it has turned out to be our most popular episode ever. And I don't know why, but apparently people really dig orange groves a lot more than I realized. So you can't plan for, hey, this is a good thing and this will go well. And, it's something we think interesting. We go, we do it. But as often as not, it's just on the fly. And often those on-the-fly episodes where we just find something in our travels turn out to be more popular than the thing we went to originally film. And if I can ever figure out why that is, I will be the most popular YouTuber on YouTube, because there's no rhyme or reason to it. But that's how it turns out. So that's all the questions we have for this week. I want to thank everybody who's sent in questions. I want to ask everyone else who's watching this, please send in your questions. Again, anything about us or about life in the United States or a particular place or thing or event in the United States, we'd love to get those questions. Feel free to leave them in the comment section below here. You can post them on our Facebook page, or you can post them on Twitter. I would certainly like to see some of you posting questions on Twitter at RealUSVlog. That would be very cool. And until then, thanks a lot for joining us. If you haven't already, I encourage you to pick subscribe and come along for the adventure. If you got questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. We love hearing from all of you. I try to get back to everybody I can. And as always, thank you for watching.